I do want to put this in context for everybody because the entirety of Congress just called the Attorney General a liar via law. That's what just happened with the passing of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Because I want to remind everyone, it was a few months ago that the Attorney General Pam Bondi stated that the case was closed, there was no list, there was no files, there's no information. Congress just said 527 members of Congress, 100 senators, 427 representatives, all said, we don't believe you. And they passed the Epstein File Transparency Act. They said, we don't believe Pam Bondi, we don't believe Kash Patel, we don't believe Dan Bongino, and possibly we don't believe the President of the United States. This law was only voted against by one man, a man named Clay Higgins from Louisiana. Check his hard drive. In the Senate, it was passed by a thing called unanimous consent. When that petition that was written by Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna, when that gets transmitted from the House of Representatives to the Senate has already agreed we're not going to make any changes to it. No one has a problem with it. None of us want to get ratioed like Clay Higgins. So just pass it. It goes right to the president's desk. And he's supposed to grab his tiny little hands, get his favorite clicky pen, and he claims that he's going to sign it. If he doesn't sign it, or if he tries to veto it, it'll go back, and then they have enough members to overdo the veto. And the thing is all of this is saying repeatedly that the president and the attorney general are liars. They keep saying there's nothing there. There's no more to talk about. Any of these different things. I have a whole chart about how they're lying about that. An entire chart around multiple men who have hung themselves in prison. Multiple men we don't know how hung they are, but we think you have a pretty good idea. So many different names, like Steve Bannon, who was emailing Jeffrey Epstein to try to help get Brett Kavanaugh installed into the Supreme Court. That has come up recently, and everybody seems to not be looking too much into that. And Prince Andrew is now the artist formerly known as Prince. He has to go by Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He had to give up his free government housing because of how connected all of this is. We never even talked about Look of the Year, the teen girl beauty pageant that the president ran, where he had a boat full of young girls and drunk rich old men floating by the Statue of Liberty. There's a Guardian article about that. There's still so much out there. And with the passing of this law, because it's a law, that is calling them all on the bluff. Let's see who folds. It probably will be the guy who was so bad at casinos he had to declare bankruptcy.